What up, everybody? It's Jen. Today is Sunday, March 31st, 2019. Got my little dove feather here, signifying peace. Um, so quite the emo day today. Um, wow, lots to talk about. Um, I missed you guys, I have to say. One of my girls who's kind of having some internet issues, same as I, who's been away, um, finally came back online, and it was great to see her face. I told her I love your face. Anyways, yeah, so gots to grab the good old trusty dusty journal here because this thing right here doesn't keep info all that long. All right, so where to begin? Okay, well, something cool today. I was watching Jacob Israel, his video that he posted, and he was talking about how some new, I don't know, government lady who happens to be Muslim was signed into Pennsylvania office today or yesterday or whenever it was. I don't even know what day it was. And somebody like said this prayer like, oh God, forgive us for having a Muslim woman in office, and like some bullshit like that. I don't know, so stupid. This kind of explains though where I live and how maybe close-minded things are. um it's craziness. There's like no compassion, no empathy. Those of you who've followed my story, you know my situation. I'm homeless. I've been living out of my friend's car, and then the 50 boop boop came the other night and towed it. And like literally, while I'm sitting there with my bags, getting everything out of the car, he's like, I could make a place for you and stupid shit like that. And I said, like what, officer? AKA a cell? Yes, it could be for trespassing. I said, what, on a public ball field? Like, they don't scare me, like, bring it, dude. Anyways, I've been like contacting every agency in this godforsaken place, and there's no help for single women. None. If you're not a man or you don't have children that live with you, there's no help. So I'm waiting this week. One of the mantras that keeps playing over and over and over in my mind is the miracle maker makes miracles. And I have to keep telling myself this, or I'm literally going to lose my mind at this point. So, anyways, today I got some information, and this is kind of funny too. There's a Carbon County task force now being in talks in the works of being formed, and it's being run by Pastor Alan Hoffa. And that made me think of Jimmy Hoffa, and I'm like, maybe this is something. Anyways, so, and then there's some other lady, Christine Leclerc, and she's from St. Vincent de Paul, and I guess she's one of the board members of this new organization too. So I don't know, maybe this is my salvation, quote unquote. All right, so I went to my spot by the stream today because I have to escape the concrete jungle that I live in, the cars honking, and the freaking Catholic church across the street with its bells every freaking 5 seconds, dong dong, and it's like, oh my god, it's just like Uniontown. I live in Jim Thorpe, and yes, it's named after the Olympic hero, the Native American Jim Thorpe, who they tried to strip his medals because he had bet on some games when he was younger. It's like, okay, but his medals were restored and his burial site is here. But I gotta tell you, there's some freaking dark energy in this town. Like, whew, coal miners, I get all the time. Like, I cry for them because I can feel it. And Jim Thorpe, of course, and then Native American, a lot of Native American energy here is pretty strong. So, today I went out there and I had just lost it with what's been going on with my kids and their toxic situations that they're in. I have my oldest son is in Illinois and he's going on 21 and he thinks that he's a Satanist now because just like me and just like all of us, organized religion and the systems of the world have just corrupted everything, and nobody just knows what to believe anymore. Nobody. Well, some of us do. But and I know my kids and I know my son and he's musically gifted and the girl he's engaged to has a kid and not I'm just going to tell the truth here. She sees stars in her eyes because she sees my son's musical talent and his band going places. And, with her kid, it's not my son's responsibility. He didn't get you pregnant. Sorry. So I'm on the phone with him today and I'm like, do you guys get WIC? Do you get food stamps? And I hear her in the background saying, no, I stopped going there. And I'm thinking, why are you putting all this on my son? Like, it's not his responsibility. He's there for you and he's supporting you. And then it pissed me off because he says to me, I said, oh, you got a new job, honey. That's great. I guess maybe some of the financial burden is off of you now. And he said, not really. He said, sorry, this is going to make me cry. He says, I'm just coming back from selling one of my guitars right now. And I thought, you got to be shitting me. You just got to be shitting me. So I'm like, okay, this is going to stop. And so then I hear her in the background saying, no, 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 we have to go to my car and get the car seat, blah, blah, blah. So, of course, loudmouth, I pipe in and I have had three of my own and I was by myself and I always had spare car seats and I didn't know who I was going to get a ride from or whatever. So you just keep a spare of everything, especially when you have three kids and you're on your own. So I said that to him. I said, why don't you just pick one up at the Salvation Army? Oh, because she said that, if they've been in accidents before and they're unsafe. And I'm like, look, you're alive. You're fine. And I got all your and your brother's car seats, playpens, strollers, high chairs, you name it, from secondhand stores, yard sales, and such. And you're alive and you're fine. And furthermore, what did your Grammy or my Nana or anybody, our ancestors, do before they even had car seats? Like, get real, I said, you guys need to, work together and get a budget going here and stop the bullshit excuses. And I hear in the background from the other one, tough shit. You don't like hearing the truth. I know because it hurts that you have to face it, but it's the truth. And it's not my son's responsibility to pick up your slack. Sorry. I say that with all love. I was a young, struggling mother too, but I fucking picked up my shit and I handled it. And I didn't put it on somebody else, you know? So then I go over to um, the snakes. Oops. I mean, my ex is a couple blocks away from me where my middle son and my youngest son live in a dire, toxic, mind controlling, mind poisoning environment with their viper. Oops, I did it again. Oops, I did it again. Um, their father, I mean. And I knock on the door and I hear blah, 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 and then I hear the door locks. And I knock again and he opens it and he says, the kids aren't here. I said, Sean, I just heard them. John's at work and Benny's at his girlfriend's house. I said, okay. and I walked into the yard and I proceeded to dial my son. Lo and behold, magically the door opens and it's my youngest son. And I walk up the steps of the porch and I said, "Hi, honey, I just came for a hug." And he quick runs in the house and shuts the door and locks it like he's afraid of me. My son is afraid of me? It's backwards. It just doesn't make sense. So then about an hour later, he texted me and he said, "Mom, I love you. I was just mad." And I said, "It's okay." I said, "I get mad, you know?" And I said, "But look, I'm your mother and I'm working on things to fix things and I'm working with people that can help set up visitation and stuff like that." I said, "Every single day I work on restoring our relationship." And I said, "This way your dad doesn't have to be involved. I don't have to go to his house to see you." And my son said, "Well, I don't want to live with you." I said, "You don't have to, but I need the court to give justice where justice is due." I said, "Your dad, his unfair rules are just, they're done. It's done." So, anyways, I'm at my little spot today and I lost it. I just hiked behind this wooded area and I cried and I prayed and I was called to start in chapter 16 of Revelation. And I did. I reread it and those booms that I heard in the sky last night, which I did a video on last night, um, it's been written. And I do believe the time for retribution and vindication for some of us is very near. I really honestly believe that. And I have this mantra that keeps playing over and over and over in my head today. The miracle maker makes miracles. The miracle maker makes miracles. And I'm just like, I have to believe. Well, I do believe, but that's neither here nor there. Well, I guess it is. It's everything. You know what I mean? Um, so then I came back to my friend's house who's letting me crash here for a couple nights. Thank God, because it's just been a freaking brutally cold winter. Like, it's indescribable when you're out in the elements and then to have cops come and take your only form of shelter away and put a lady on the street with her bags and just drive off and I'm in the dark and I'm just crying and like it's I don't get it. So I came back and I did a hypnosis. I do a lot of meditation and hypnosis and things and connect with my angels and my ancestors and spirit guides. And I got quite a few messages here. So I'm just gonna go over them. I don't know that I'm being called to uh, go over this. So, the people, or not people, the ones who came through during my session and the messages that I got. And if it resonates with someone, great, you were maybe meant to hear it. If it doesn't, you can just go on and I love you still. Okay? Um, so my Nana, she came through and she was a living, walking, breathing angel. That's for sure. Couldn't hurt a fly. Her door was always open. Um, and my intent during this hypnosis. I set my intent with my specific question, which was, how do I escape this current situation of homelessness and also heal the brokenness between my sons and I? And these are the answers that I got. My Nana said, keep loving them, smother them with love, let them know your door is always open. Oh, and one other thing, sometimes messages for me don't always come in words. They'll either be in like familiar smells or visions of things, pictures of things, colors, lots of stuff. Then my mom, she passed away in 2014. Another travesty. I luckily was able to afford to go down to Florida and spend the last week of her life with her in the hospital as she lay dying. And it was disgusting watching my mother have to reach for this oxygen mask because she couldn't breathe, and they had her on Xanax because she got so panicky when she couldn't breathe, and she died of lung cancer. Um, and 2 days after I got back to Pennsylvania, she passed away. Um, and these agencies could only come up with like $600 to get her an oxygen machine to take home and shit. And it's just. Ugh. So she said to me, Jen, go to a battered women's shelter. And of course, in my mind's eye, I'm like, Mom, come on, like, and she goes, just trust me. And her thing always that she said to me was, things always have a way of working out one way or another. And she said that to me again. So, of course, I, you know, resisted, like, Mom, I don't want to go there. And she just said, trust me. And another thing she always would tell me too is, I would never tell you something that would intentionally hurt you. And that's the truth. So, and then my Aunt Joni, God rest her soul, another lung cancer victim, um, in reference to what was going on with my son's father, she gave me a visual of castration. So, how I interpreted that was maybe taking some of the power back from these big jerk men, if you catch what I'm saying, that have been ruling and controlling and oppressing women and their children for long enough. And then, of course, my bestie, A.A. Michael, and he just showed me his sword, and I know what that means. Saint Germain showed up, smiling, and was ensuring me that I am wrapped in protection. Saint Anthony is another one I call upon a lot. He is the patron of the lost. There's a little quote they use that says, St. Anthony, come around, something's lost and can't be found. And today, when I was praying out in the woods, like, I called upon him because I'm lost, my children are lost, a lot of us are lost out here with nowhere to belong, nowhere we feel accepted, understood, whatever, welcomed. So he was there, and he said to me, nothing is lost which can't be found, which I thought was pretty cool. And then I got a leopard came through, like, leopard, and it was this roar, like if you ever watched a documentary of leopards. And I've always had an affinity to leopards. I didn't know they were one of my spirit animals until now, but apparently they are, which is great because they're freaking awesome. And I always loved them. Even my cats, I would always call, oh, you little leopard, you know. So a leopard came through, and this roar was like, back off, you oppressors. And I visualized the mother leopard with her cub, like scruffing her cub. So I know what that meant to me. And of course, my two brothers from another mother, because I'm like the mad scientist behind the scenes, all numbers and calculations and experiments and stuff like that. Yeah, I keep reiterating. They always want me to say this because I hate saying it. That's why. So it's getting me out of my comfort zone. But when I was around 10 years old, they did a bunch of IQ testing on me because I was always advanced and stuff like that. And I was found to have a genius level IQ. I hate that. I hate it. It's like, I hate that label so much. I loathe it. But I do. And do I have to say the number? Okay. Yes. Great. Fantastic. So back then at 10 years old, it was 144. And that was because I quit the tests. I was so sick of sitting there in the psychotherapist's office and he's giving me these fucking hour-long tests and each thing and these puzzles. And I was just tired. I didn't want to do it anymore, so I stopped. So could it have been potentially higher? Yeah. But nobody back then related the intuitive side to the intellectual side. So that went unexplored. So, okay, there, I did it. Anyways, so Einstein and Tesla always come through for me. And Einstein says to me, see with your mind's eye, it's all relative, with quotations of relative. Okay, I get that. And then Tesla said, feel the vibration. And I also know what that means. That speaks volumes to me. Now, one other group that I've recently connected is what they refer to as the Nephilim. Some people refer to it as Sasquatch or Bigfoot. These are the kindest, most gentle beings I think I have ever come in contact with, ever. They know what it's like to be fearful of humans. They know what it is like to be misunderstood. And he gave me a visual. It was a male. Now, I've channeled them before. And I asked for his name, and it made me cry because he said, I don't have a name. Which maybe is a good thing. I cried at the time, but maybe that's a good thing because with names are attached labels. So, anyways, he just showed me a vision of him wrapping his arms around me tightly and hugging me with the message of expressing their strength when I'm weak. Like he's saying, we're very strong. So when you're feeling weak, we're strong for you. And like the sweetness and the gentleness is just, it's palpable to me, like palpable. Do I have to read this? I'm such a defiant child, aren't I? Like, I just resist all the time. Okay, well, here goes nothing, peeps. All right, so I wrote this to my sons. My first son, by the way, when I was 16, I had an abortion because at the time it was socially unacceptable for a 16-year-old to have a baby. So I named him Samuel, even though he wasn't physically ever born. So, with that being said, I wrote Samuel, Stephen, Jonathan, and Benjamin. Mom loves you with all my heart. So does Jesus, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him. He doesn't care. We are all children of God the Father. Always be true to yourself. Search your own heart for the real truth. Never let anyone tell you what to do, what to be, or what you should be. You know who you are and where you come from. Everything we have been taught in this corrupt world has been a lie. There's only one true God, creator of all. Worship only the Father. Ask our Divine Mother for guidance and help whenever you need it. I cannot tell you in words how truly sorry I am for having failed you as your earthly mother. We all have fallen victim to the false ways of this world. We have been deceived for so long. Please turn away from all darkness and know the truth. Call upon Jesus and your guardian angels, ancestors, and even me when you feel lost, afraid, or alone. We all are together in spirit and belong together forever in the kingdom of heaven. The times are changing. Always do the right thing, even if you stand alone. No human being has any authority over another. You are children of God, and so am I. It is our divine birthright to be free and happy. So many prophets and saints have been killed for preaching the truth. It has to stop now. Too much blood has been shed over the ages. Now it is time for vindication, justice, peace, unity, and love. You are perfect, just the way you are. Never let anyone ever make you feel less than. Study your Bibles. Although much has been misinterpreted and lost in translation or even hidden by the Vatican, the truth is still there. You just have to use your own judgment and discernment. Do your own research. You will find it. I love you for all eternity. Home is truly where the heart is. No mother could ever love her children more than I love you. Of this I am certain. Go with love and peace, and you will never fall. God loves you, and so do I. Always XO, 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 times infinity. Mom. So that's what I wrote out there in the woods today. And I just, I, I appreciate my angels and my guides when they speak to me in a world that has nothing to say and won't hear anything either. It's nice to not feel alone. I did some measurements from Revelation 21 too, and measured out the cubits and things like that, and the stadia, and I got my numbers. Let's see. Oh, the other thing, they keep calling me to talk about this, and I keep forgetting. I've noticed two things as of late, and I'm going to show you so I have proof of this. I'm taking my wristwatch off right now. Digital time is, I don't know because my phone is on right now, but my watch is literally, I hope you can see that. It says, oh wait, sorry, it was upside down. Hang on, let me get this stupid thing here. All right. Catch that? Can you scope it? All right. So I've got 7:35. Now, digital time is a little different. And I was staying at another friend of mine's house who let me crash there a couple weeks ago. And the clock on the wall, the analog clock on the wall, held the correct time. And when I woke up in the morning, it was 3 hours and some behind as well. A little freaky, but cool. We know what's happening. Those of us who know what's happening with the balance of the universe, time that's been going clockwise is slowly going to. Okay? So, 3 a.m. last night, I woke up exactly at 3 a.m. And one of my girls had a live stream on, and she actually reached out to me today on Facebook, and she's willing to give me a 1 hour free healing Reiki session, spiritual guidance session for healing. Like this is a miracle for me. And she's like, you don't have to like shout me out or anything. And I said, well, look, if all goes well, I said, I give credit where credit's due. So I emailed her the client sheet, which asks you a lot of personal questions and why you're seeking healing and things like that. And I sent it in to her, and it's a wrap now. So 6:45 a.m. I woke up. Oh, by the way, keep a journal by your bed. If you don't already, write down details. If you glance at the clock and it's like 3:33, to jot it down. There's something going on. Or you pick up a coin that has a date on it, or you hear a song on the radio or in your head, lyrics, pay attention, write it down. you look outside and you see something cool in the sky, like these contrails or maybe other phenomena, prophetic phenomena, or whatever, what have you. Jot it down, you know? And so I woke up at 6:45 this morning. There was a symphony of birds. Like I have not heard this since I've been in Florida with the wildlife there. And I'm talking hooting owls, crows, which they are my spirit animals, so of course they would be out, and all kind of tiny little birds tweeting. I mean, it was magnificent. So, that's about it for now, I think. And I'm gonna upload this, and I just want to give props to Richie. You talked about the feathers today and making a wand, and I've been putting that off too because I found a piece of wood and I have my crystals and everything. This is my little setup here. I don't know if you can see that, but I got some cool quartz that I find naturally all over up here. That's one cool thing about being here, is there's uncut natural quartz everywhere. And so, and here's my little dove feather. I collect them, I find them all the time. And so this is for peace. And he was calling to make my wand, get that done. So I'm going to work on that. And freaking, I need copper wire somewhere. And I can't find copper wire because I've been shown how to construct it with my crystals and wrap it with the copper wire. But I don't know where to get my hands on some copper wire. I suppose it'll come my way, though. Things usually have a way of working out, don't they, Mom? One way or another, right? So, anyways, guys, you, my truth tribe, my soul sisters and brothers out there, you know who you are, who I follow, subscribe, and like and comment, and those who connect with me, you know who you are. I always wrap you in love and light. There's only good things on the horizon for us. Remember, the miracle maker makes miracles, okay? Um, if I have to repeat it constantly to get out of this crapola, then so do you. I love you guys very much, and we have a really, really bright future ahead of that, I'm sure. And that's it. XOXO, always. Peace.